culture marked by pursuit of ease, of luxury, of holistic well-being has gained a lot of momentum, especially amongst Africa's younger generations, and of course those who love to frequent the social media streets. This is popularized through the social media. The lifestyle challenges traditional narratives of you must struggle, you must endure. Instead, it promotes rest, self-care, and financial independence, and of course a lot of luxury. But as appealing as this sounds to many of us, questions arise. Is this ideally true? Is this ideally attainable for the average African, for the average person who's navigating systematic equality, navigating unemployment? We're navigating a lot of socio-economic stability all across the African continent. Or does it represent a powerful reimagining of what an African success actually looks like and what happiness can actually be? Today's debate, we're looking at the soft life as a tool of empowerment or as an unrealistic fantasy for most Africans. Welcome to On the Move's African View. This is where we debate a contentious issue on the African continent. We're joined on the line by Nigeria-based lawyer and social development advocate Olajide Ologun, as well as Sellwane Thakanyane, Lesotho-based musician, influencer, and content creator, to have this debate with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. I'm going to start with you, Olajide Ologun. Thank you so much. Good morning. Let's speak about what the definition of soft life is.
Thank you very much. When you talk about soft life, it's a life that wants to take it easy, enjoy all the good things in life with little or no effort. And like you introduced, what we have around the globe now, particularly online, is a picture of luxury, of flamboyance, living, without, emphasizing the need for diligence to make reality out of the fantasy. And again, that is why across the world we have high level of crime related to financial independence. We talk about scam, who scam people across the world, talk about Ponzi schemes. And then in comparison with what is termed as hustling. Hustling emanated from the African Americans community, those who started finding themselves out of Africa and were determined to break through and record success. So they decided to put in their all in terms of efforts and hard work to gain that success. And many of them achieved it until today. That's why you find out that when some Africans, for instance, travel abroad seeking greener pastures, they work out there more than they probably would have worked here in Africa. And the incentives are there. And in the Western world, for instance, if you don't work for it, you don't make the money. You got to pay your bills, you got to pay your tax, and then the person you are working for requires accountability from you. I give this instance. I have a cousin who's a medical doctor, and he was working in New York City. When I go to America, I do not even see him in New York. He cannot even pick my phone because he must do his work. So it's probably when he comes to Nigeria on holiday that we have the time to sit together and gist. And I believe many will resonate with that. But that is not to say that a soft life is also not available. I mean, if you have worked so hard and you've made your money, why not? You can decide to enjoy. And I heard a wise man say that the poor man buys luxury first, the rich man buys luxury last. We talk about people like Warren Buffett, who make the money, and with the vibrant cash flow, they can enjoy the living. And I will let you know that these people also are not on the soft lane of life. I mean, I had an opportunity of being close to the Dangote business in Nigeria here, and I can let you know Dangote is not a lazy person. Even at the stage he is in life, putting forward the biggest refinery in Africa, you won't see him sitting down in one corner and loafing. I mean, you still find road going around negotiating business. So the soft life, if it is on the scale of fantasy, it's a dangerous life. Now, let me conclude in this segment by bringing in the continent of Africa as a whole. I did a research. The total population of the world is about 8.2 billion, and Africa contributes about 1.5 billion of the 8.2 billion population of the world. And Africa commands about 40% of the total resources of the world. So why is Africa a poor continent? And that's why you find the colonialists coming to scramble for some African nations and exploiting our resources, because it appears as if Africa does not even know what to do with her resources. And yet we love to live big, flamboyant life. We look at our legislative arm, our government structures and everything, and you wonder what exactly have come over us. And what the word of God even says, if you look at Proverbs chapter 10 verse 4, Proverbs chapter 10 verse 4 says that a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. So I support the fact that we are expected to be diligent and not just hang around and loaf and expect that magic will fall from Pluto. So
I have to just intercept there and maybe bring our other guests, and maybe let's find out from them what they think about this one. And thank you for giving us that comprehensive understanding on how you see the soft life versus what you call the hustle. Sellwane, let's bring you into this conversation. What's your take about the soft life? Do you think that it's possible for us as Africans to live that soft life?
Hello, everybody. I believe in soft life. I believe everybody was created not to suffer. I believe everybody was created to have a very beautiful life. But I also believe in working towards manifesting that soft life. You understand? I don't want to be given soft life by somebody else because it's not guaranteed. I, as Sellwane, even with my current life, I give myself soft life. And when somebody comes to give me soft life, I appreciate it. But again, I know that it can be used against me tomorrow when I don't agree with something that that person wants to do to me. You understand?
Yeah.
It comes with, I'm a young woman. I'm not married. Before I marry, before I have kids, I know the life I want for that chapter of my life. I want to have it hard. I don't want to have to wake up in the morning and go to work as a wife.
Sure.
I don't want to have to stress about school fees as a wife.
Nice life, eh?
I want to be at home. Yeah, I want to be at home building my family, worrying about what should I cook for my family tonight?
Not worrying about bills, honey.
Yeah, I don't want to worry about such things.
Okay, Sellwane, let me take a bit of a break, and then I promise you we'll start with you when we come to a break. But I think it was a good moment to kind of get your view and get your view after we heard Olajide giving us his view on what he thinks is important. He's not for the soft life, but you are for the soft life. I'd like you to define it after the break, but we'll do that after this.
9 to 12 midday Central African Time. On the Move with Palesa Tau and Benjamin Moshatama.
Hey, we're speaking about the soft life culture, and I was asking on my social media, is the soft life thing a reality for us here on the African continent, or is it just pressure? And Saul says there is no soft life for Darky. Perhaps it's just for the elites. Yeah, some people think so. Some people think the soft life is for the elites. But we're having a conversation that we're having with our two guests in the African View debate. We have Olajide Olajide Ologun, who is a Nigeria-based lawyer and social development advocate. That is also Sellwane Thakanyane, who's a Lesotho-based musician, influencer, and content creator. Sellwane, you were saying that basically you are for the soft life, that you prefer rather just being that person who's just living that soft life. This whole thing about working for it, it's not something that you are attracted to.
Yes. I believe, especially as a lady, you understand?
Okay, elaborate why. Why is it that as a lady you feel that way?
Because even religiously, God ordered men to provide.
Okay.
You understand? Women are supposed to just be at home taking care of the household, educated. When kids come with homework, you are able to help them effectively. You understand? These are things that I refer to as soft life. I don't when I say soft life, I don't mean a bag of Gucci.
Okay.
I'm not saying let's go buy a 20,000 pair of shoes. No, I have brains. I understand. That's why when you give a person soft life, you need to first check how well functioning their brain is.
Okay.
Because if you give soft life to a person whose brain is not functioning very well and doesn't value money, they will want a 500,000 handbag. Where have you seen that happen as reality? You understand?
Okay, I hear you.
Sorry?
I hear you, and I want to take that back to you, Olajide. And you quoted the Bible, so maybe Sellwane is right by saying the soft life is okay, especially for women, because us men, we are providers, and that's what we are supposed to be doing. But what's your take on that one? Because the soft life is a huge culture amongst many women in the African continent, where they feel they have to be provided for, and all they have to do is just absorb that comfort and actually just live the soft life. What's your take to what Sellwane just highlighted there?
Thank you very much. Let me appreciate the contributions and say that there is nothing wrong with the soft life. We are discussing the aspect here now. And let's go back to the intention of God. When God made man in his own image, you read Genesis chapter 1 from verse 26 to 28. The Bible says in verse 27 that God made man in his own image and likeness, male and female created him. And in verse 28, he blessed them. He said, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, replenish that. So, and if you now move to why God made woman physically so, because he already created woman by concept. He said it is not good for a man to be alone, that he will make him a helpmeet. So woman is to complement the efforts of men. And the advice I give to my own daughters is that you don't have to be a burden on anyone. That is why we are them. That is why we are trying to make them strong in life so that they can be supportive. And let me say this, when we talk about this soft life, I enjoy soft life. I'm talking to you from my office now, but I can let you know by the question. Everything I need to be comfortable. I have a kitchen here. If I feel like eating, I step in there, take good care of myself. But there's something I tell younger ones. If you play now, you will pay later. But if you pay now, you will play later. So I have paid for this soft life I'm enjoying now. And that's the point. And that's why I made reference to the concept of the poor man buying luxury first, the rich man buying luxury last. So we must, even God himself, God worked to create everything. And the Bible says that after completing creation of the heaven and the earth, God rested on the seventh day and blessed it. You know what I mean? So I don't want us to associate the soft life with a lazy life, which is what is happening. Let me give you an example. I'm doing a house renovation now. It's difficult to even get artisans. to come and work because young ones don't want to learn again. You know what I mean? They are now on the phone. You know, they live on the phone now. Some of them scamming and things like that. So that is not the kind of soft life I'm talking about. That is laziness.
Yeah. Okay. I want to take it back to our other guest because it seems like you're saying delay that soft life, work for it now, and then at a particular point in time, you can actually then live that particular soft life. Sellwane, do you agree with that? That now's time to work. We are the youngsters right now. Let's work, and then only later, then we can try at least get the benefits of that soft life.
Listen, I already agreed with that from the word go.
Okay.
I believe in ending your own soft life. I say this because it is not safe to live off somebody's money and then tomorrow people do horrible things to their partners because they give them everything they want. We see as many abuse stories that come out. And then a girl, for example, right now, let's just quote what's happening with Diddy and Cassie. You understand? Mm-hmm. Did you see how inhumane Cassie was being treated? But on the outside, somebody who was actually a salon owner in New York was like, I used to envy this girl's life so much. Mm-hmm. So much. This girl came in, she had all the purses star Chanel, all the purses star Hermes, like everything that one may think that is life. You understand? But look at what was happening in behind the scenes. So I'm saying to girls and boys, you need to just sit down, strategize what you want to do. Sometimes even working does not mean lifting bricks. You understand? There's so many side hustles one can do online, and you work from home, and you just earn in dollars, in euros, in pounds. Why can't we just be a generation that says, this is the life I want for myself. I want a beautiful life because I'm a beautiful girl, and I believe that God has created me for this beautiful life. And when I say beautiful life, I don't mean you drive the latest SUV. Yeah. I mean you do not have to worry about bills. I mean you do not have to worry about...
Okay, Sellwane, I'm going to stop you there. We need to take a news break. I'd love both of you to stay on the line because, you know, we can tell you guys are agreeing on one thing, right? Yeah. That work is important in the conversation of the soft life, even though most people want ease and luxury. But even with work, let's say you have the ability and you have the aspiration to work hard and attain that soft life. It seems like that still is not attainable, right? We have socioeconomic issues. We have high unemployment rates. Is it something that can actually happen within our lifetime? So I want you guys to think about that while we go on the break, and then we'll come back and continue with that conversation after that. It's 10:31. Fikile Lengwati is back with our latest sports news.
Keeping you on the know and on the move.
All right, we continue with today's African View. That's a debate where we look at a contentious issue on the continent. Today we're speaking about the soft life. Is it a tool of empowerment, an aspirational way for us to look forward to life, or an unrealistic fantasy for most Africans? We still have on the line with us lawyer and social development advocate Olajide Ologun, as well as musician, influencer and content creator Sellwane Thakanyane. So both of you, before the break, got to agree on one particular thing, right? That hard work was an important part of achieving the soft life. However, if we look on social media, which has been great influence on our everyday lives, especially for those who do have access to social media. I know it's still not the majority of Africans, but many of us are seeing the aspirational nature of it. But the aspirational nature of the soft life on social media says that soft life should be luxurious but easy, and hard work doesn't sound very easy to me. Hard work and hustling and, you know, making enough money to live within the bounds of luxury, whatever luxury means to all of us as individuals, is not something that can be acquired with ease. But more so, there's an added level to it. Not only are we looking for easy luxury, but there's a huge problem of unemployment of young people on the African continent. So I'm going to come to you, Olajide. Let's speak about that. It sounds like a huge oxymoron. It doesn't really connect, right? We want people to work work hard and acquire the soft life. But when you go out on the street, there are no jobs. There aren't a lot of ways that people can access the money that can give them that soft life.
Very much. And you've given me a very strong point. If you want the soft life, you work for it. You know, by the grace of God, I'm a human resource management practitioner. And then there is what we call work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means is that as you work, you also need to manage your stress. And that is why you are entitled to leave, your annual leave, then the maternity, paternity as practice has brought forth now, and some other effects of office. But talking about the unemployment, that helps my argument. We don't have limited job opportunities. We only have people with skills positive who cannot fit into these jobs. As we speak now, some people change jobs. Yes, I know that in Africa, we need to create more jobs. But even the available jobs, who can fit in? I've mentioned Aliko Dangote in the course of this discussion. So Aliko will just go out there and get someone who is living in fantasy to come and manage his refinery. No. You find them going to bring in expatriates, and because his business is crucial to him, he's not out to run a charity. And that's what we are saying. You can I live of life by the grace of God with my diligence. When I'm going on vacation, I go abroad, America, Canada, Dubai, London, as I desire, and enjoy my life, not under by the grace of God. You see, but I play down on diligence. I will lose that soft life because you need to sustain it. They made by
all right.
Poor man buying luxury first.
I want to bring Sellwane in this conversation because I do want to counter a little bit of what you're saying. And you're right. It's great. Maybe I'm sure there are people who look at your life and they aspire to work as hard as you did, to go to law school, to put together a stable life for themselves and be able to live a life that they want to, or live a softer life or a soft life as we're putting it here. But Sellwane, you are an influencer, you're a content creator, and you live your life on social media. And what we're seeing there is that the people who really are living the soft life is not the lawyers like Olajide. It's the tenderpreneurs, the people who quote unquote, when they say hustle, they mean those people who the ladies who are giving away their time to men who have money, the Yahoo boys and the Yahoo men who scam other people for their money, those who work in government offices and do corruption. They have a lot of money, and that's the life that can get you a private jet versus just a nice car that's on the road. That's the life that can get you to travel the world in luxury. That's the life that can get you those Gucci bags. That's the soft life that we're actually seeing on social media, isn't it?
I think before we should have started first by describing soft life, which is what I did.
Yeah.
According to my understanding. According to my understanding, the soft life that you see on social media is not the soft life. Because if you are able to go and buy a Gucci, yet you know very well you don't have streams of income that can match your lifestyle, the lifestyle that you are putting up on social media, that is not soft life, that is deceiving people.
Okay.
So in my definition, I'm saying that the lawyer I'm speaking to right now, he has soft life because he has managed to get a degree for himself. He has managed to become this lawyer that we go to when we have legal problems, and he charges us tons and tons of money. And even though he does not, he's not a content creator, he does not display it on social media, but his life off social media is right on track. That is soft life. That's the life I'm trying to manifest for myself.
Okay.
On and off, on or off social media. Just soft life, according to me, is making sure that the resources that you have, you understand, they match what you put up on social media. Because
Okay.
now that is lying, we've seen so many people, so many slave queens, even South African ones that we look up to, their lives being put out there to show that these people have been deceiving. This is their truth. That's not soft life. That
Okay.
is just content.
All right, we have to leave it there. Thank you both for giving us your insights. They've been very informative. At times, they've given us shades and colors of what this soft life is, but also there's been warnings and certain kind of assertions made by both of you, affirming a certain type of soft life and diminishing a certain type of soft life. So thank you both for giving us your time. Thank you to Olajide Ologun, Nigeria-based lawyer and social development advocate. Thank you to Lesotho-based musician, influence and content creator Sellwane Thakanyane. Thank you both for joining us for this conversation.